This is Goku-san DBZ, and welcome back to the first top 10 list in 2 weeks. This is going to be a countdown of the top 10 Ghost Adventure locations. Now, these are my own personal picks of some of my favorite locations, so you'll have to keep that in mind. Today, I will be doing honorable mentions first. And the first honorable mention is Ashmore Estates. Second honorable mention, Gettysburg. Third honorable mention, USS Hornet. Alcatraz. Old Idaho Penitentiary. And those are the honorable mentions. Now, besides, I'm also basing somewhat on creepiness of the episodes, the interestingness of the particular episodes that I've ended up rewatching more than once. And these are particular ones that caught my attention more, and there will be a few ties, because there's quite a few interesting locations. So with that said, coming in at number 10 is Remington Arms. An old abandoned Remington, of course, construction place that made Remington ammunition, bombs, guns, you name it. And it was located in New England, and particularly Connecticut, which is an interesting location, but that's because New England was, after all, in the earlier days, was the area where most of the economy for North America came from, was the New England region. We still have powerhouses like New York, but once upon a time, Connecticut was a major power player, along with, of course, Massachusetts. Coming in at number 9. This one is located in Georgia. Oh wait, not Georgia, what am I saying? I'm trying to mirror exactly where it was, the location, but it is Slough, or Sloss, however you want to pronounce it, Furnace, which, of course, is in a place that was known for definitely major uprisings and things back during, of course, the Civil Rights era. So maybe it was Alabama or something I'm thinking of, rather, not Georgia. But Slough Furnace was an interesting location, and definitely a dark history, I will say. And a crazy enough girl in that episode with actually the place tattooed on her lower back. Which is weird. Why you would want to get that tattooed on you? Who knows? But definitely a good, creepy episode, and it would be a dangerous place to visit, not just because of the haunted stuff, but in general because of the whole place falling apart and stuff. There's a lot of possible debris and stuff, given it's an old closed down furnace place. I mean, there's going to be a lot of safety issues with a place like that. So I do recommend, of course, people be careful when you are doing ghost hunting. Tied at number 8, first is located in Scotland, and that is the ancient Ram Inn, which has been around for hundreds of years. And it's known for a lot of, apparently, occult activity and occult rituals and stuff that's happened there over the years. Zach Bagans and the others, Nick and Aaron, were kind of crazy because they decided to be involved in a ritual and stuff. Magic ritual to open themselves up to the spirits and stuff. Yeah, first of all, you want to be careful when you're dealing with spirits. And second of all, really, I mean, it's bad enough provoking the spirits to get a reaction, but even want to be involved in certain types of rituals and stuff. Not very smart people, are they? No, they're not. And tied with it is another place, located, if I remember correctly, in Chicago, called the Excalibur Nightclub. And in particular known for aggressive entities in the upstairs level of the old nightclub. And of course, like most places, most of the activity is in the daytime, but actually they've had activity in the daytime hours, not just the nighttime hours. Coming in at number 7. Probably one of the most infamous haunted locations. In fact, so infamous now there's a biopic movie being made about this location and the life. And number 7 is the Winchester Mystery House. Of course, created by the Winchester family, and particular widow was so scared of the souls of all these spirits and stuff haunting her and causing unnatural deaths and stuff to the family, where she was basically the only one left. So through a medium and also a psychic, decided to keep constructing and adding on to the house to keep the spirits confused and to keep them trapped within the house so they couldn't do things to other people and things like that, which basically turned the house into a nexus of sorts for spirits. Coming in at number 6 is another tie, and it's a tie between Hellfire Caves, located over in Europe, which is known for occult type activity, as well as known for like sex orgies and things like that. But then again, there are what they call sex magic, which a lot of occultists are obsessed with, such as former ones, such as Aleister Crowley is a perfect example. And tied with it is the Ohio Reformatory, which is located in south central Ohio. Located actually within like 3 or 4 hours of where I live, of course, which you already know. I live in western part of West Virginia, so yeah, I'm actually not that far away from the Ohio Reformatory, just a couple hour drive. In fact, I'm just a few hour drive from multiple things on this list, interestingly enough. Coming in at number 5, Eastern State Penitentiary, located, of course, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which has definitely become infamous, considered one of probably their most well-known ever inmates, would become more well-known as later on in Alcatraz. And, of course, that is the big man himself, the most infamous, probably, person ever in the Mafia, Al Capone. Stayed a little while there in the Eastern State Penitentiary. Yeah, you want to talk infamous inmates? Yep, that's about as infamous as you can get with that individual. And a lot of interesting stuff happened in that particular location. Hey, that prison is massive in size. It's insane how big some of those penitentiaries are. And it's been closed down, but they've even had daylight sightings of spirits and stuff. So, yeah, not all these haunted locations have heavy activity in the daytime hours, but when you have full body apparitions and stuff being seen in the daylight, that means it's definitely pretty haunted and pretty powerful spirits to be able to be seeing the bright daytime hours. I mean, it's one thing in darker areas, dimly lit areas, seeing shadow figures and entities and stuff in the daytime if it's dark. But in broad daylight, you can see an entity. Yeah, that says something. Coming in at number 4, Waverly Hills Sanitarium. Ah, yes, Waverly Hills. That was one creepy episode, to say the least. But it definitely stuck with me, because it's one of the episodes I remember more than particular other episodes. Mainly probably because the creepiness factor in that sanitarium. Yeah. Enough said. Coming in at number 3 is the Exorcist House, which is what it sounds like. It's the location, the house and stuff that the movie The Exorcist was based off of. And of course now the new TV series, Exorcist by Fox. Yes. they actually travel. And later on, Mr. Zach Bagans would end up purchasing that freaking house. He's crazy. You actually want to buy the house that supposedly The Exorcist took place in? Yeah. And given that they make a lot of pretty good, strong connection and stuff with that particular entity. Enough said right there. And the creature or being entity, obviously there's been many malevolent spirits in that particular location. Easily. And given when they asked, like, what was the creature's name and stuff, like, you heard two different voices. First said devil, and the second said Diablo, which of course is the Spanish name for devil. In a much creepier voice, the Diablo part. Now, whether or not, of course, we still don't know 100% if everything in Ghost Adventures is fake or not, but there's a lot of evidence that has not been able to be disproven as of yet by many paranormal experts. So that's interesting. You could consider that maybe something to help reinforce some of what they say. But you can believe these things or not, that's your own choice in life. Coming in at number 2, Moundsville Penitentiary. The very first episode of Ghost Adventures, and of course, as you know, it's located just outside Parkersburg, West Virginia, which, incidentally, I live about 2.5 hours from Moundsville Penitentiary. I have actually visited Moundsville one time so far, in the daytime hours. And trust me when I say, believe it or not, you will actually see full-body shadow figures in the daytime hours up and down those hallways, especially in the west wing of the building. Yeah. Eventually, I'm hoping to go back again to Moundsville, and next time maybe try to do a lockdown and Dusk Till Dawn. But in order to do a lockdown, if you're not special like Zach and all of them, you have to usually at least get reserved 3 to 5 months in advance just to be able to do a lockdown, Dusk Till Dawn, at Moundsville Penitentiary. So it's not that easy to get tickets to it. And even more crazy is it's $150 to stay the night. I mean, yeah, only a small handful of people are actually going to be crazy enough to spend the night. People like me are nuts enough to probably stay there. But hey, I've lived in a haunted place, so it doesn't bother me one bit. I'm used to it. Coming in number 1, located less than 4 hours from here, where I live. Located in Kentucky, western area of Kentucky. Bobby Mackeys Music World. Oh my goodness, where would I start on Bobby Mackeys? They've done like 3 or 4 episodes of Bobby Mackeys freaking Music World. Of course, originally it was a slaughterhouse for like pigs and stuff. And it's believed to have all started over 100 years ago when a particular young woman was killed in a occult ritual and stuff, and severed her head and stuff. And supposedly she was also pregnant at the time. And it was her husband and another friend of his that performed the ritual. And it was after that all these things started happening. There's been multiple reports of possessions and stuff, and multiple reports of more than 20 actual cataloged people at one time at Bobby Mackeys seeing and hearing the jukebox playing music, and they pull it and show it's not even plugged in the wall, and it's an old style jukebox, so it can't play without being plugged in. So when you have like registered like 20 different separate people all say they heard and saw it playing when it wasn't plugged in, and seeing a lot of full body apparitions and stuff, things flying around, or hearing stuff going bumping on the walls and stuff in the bathrooms, or the caretaker, which got possessed, that lived upstairs in Bobby Mackey's music world. And given that on multiple occasions they've been in the basement of Bobby Mackey's hearing demonic growls and like people getting multiple like scratches and stuff, and it's even been cataloged on camera, them getting 3 scratches on their arms or shoulders and stuff. And yeah, and there's been multiple blessings of preachers coming in that place. There's been a lot of reports of the entities attaching themselves to people going in that place. It got so bad they actually have a giant warning sign on Bobby Mackey's place saying that we are not liable for any stuff that happens to you if you walk inside these stores and stuff. We are not liable for anything following you home or any supernatural stuff happening to you. Yeah, so they actually have that warning sign on the entrance of Bobby Mackey's music world before you even go inside, which says something when you have to have legally a sign like that put up just so people can't sue you. That says something right there. And multiple different visits, and the entity always remains very aggressive. Yeah. As one of the few places on this list, I can honestly say, not in a million years would you catch me walking inside. I don't care if it is to do a documentary or anything. Not a million years would I ever step one freaking foot inside Bobby Mackey's music world. No thank you. I'm not going to take the chance of evil entities following me back. There's already 2 freaking spirits that live inside the building I live in. I don't need to deal with aggressive demonic entities either. Though, I've been crazy enough once to go inside Moundsville Penitentiary, which I'll probably end up visiting there again, and eventually the Transatlantic Lunatic Asylum eventually I plan on visiting as well. Anyways, this is my top 10 list for top 10 Ghost Adventure locations, my own personal picks for favorites. Hopefully you enjoyed this top 10 list, and of course, as I said, upcoming reviews you can expect, like the next movie review you can expect is the review for Silent Hill. And the next comic book review, Street Fighter Legends Cammy number 4. So stay tuned for these 2 future reviews. And I'll see you all next time here in YouTube land. Follow me at twitter.com/GokuSunDBZ as well as Google+. And remember, as always, same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. And may everyone out there have a happy Halloween. All happy Hallows Eve.